What's going on, YouTube? I'll be right back. Give me just 1 second. Listen, fellas, you want to get your face wash, your skincare routine intact? I use Teej Handy. It's a daily face wash with an AM, PM moisturizers with instructions in the box that's very clear on how to get it together. I know this is not something common that us men do, but it's very important that we take care of our skin. On top of that, the ladies love it. Get yourself a box of Teej Handy. It comes in the mail, ships within a week. If you click the link in my description, you would get 40% off your first order and 20% off a lifetime. On top of that, sign up to the app and you'll get even more deals. Me, I got a special. I got the grooming kit. I was able to get my nail clippers and everything that I needed to get myself together to go outside. Teej Handy is the way when I tell you the perfect men's skincare routine. Get yourself a box of Teej Handy. I am muted. I was muted. What is going on, YouTube? What's popping, everyone? Please unmute your mics. Unmute your mics. What is good? What is good, ladies? What is good? So it looks like what's going on? It looks like we are missing two, but it should be joining us shortly. It should be joining us shortly, right? So let's just go over real quick, y'all. Weekends, because I messed up last week. I said, how was y'all weeks? And it was Tuesday. And I was all discombobulated. So let's talk about y'all weeks. What we got cooking? Something new in the frying pan?
It's this week? Child, mama need a vacation. So we're gonna take a break this weekend to recoup and rest, because that's a part of the work. I know me and my family are gonna take a little weekend trip, nothing big with the children. And I'll be meeting my parents there, so can't wait.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Kid, I know you got some new stuff brewing.
Oh my goodness. I've been working on some digital marketing for my website. Unfortunately, I had to, in layman's terms, I needed to move my website from one location to another. So now that all of that back mess is taken care of, been promoting a lot of the apparel and our wonderful treats at the Edible Incredible. So and
Nice.
getting ready to sign up and teach a lollipop class this time around. So I got a lollipop class coming up. Show you all how to.
That's only for the ladies, right? Because you know the fellas with the lollipops and y'all ladies. You know where the minds start to go.
Fellas eat the lollipops, believe it or not. Y'all like candy.
But they like it.
Even candy on the stick. Y'all like candy on the stick.
I mean, listen, we like candy on the stick, but we like to also, in most cases, watch women eat lollipops with candies on the stick. So,
wow.
Is it women only? Wow. That's what I was trying to find out.
Well, they are for everybody. You know, candy is for everybody. And we don't want to leave anybody out.
Equal opportunity.
Candy is an equal opportunity for the community. So we want to make sure everybody can get some. But yeah, and just working on some things with that. I got some vegan stuff and some sugar-free things I'm doing for a couple of people, because, you know, everyone, you say edibles, the first thing that they think is candy, sweet sugar, and, you know, there's cheese sauce and salad dressing and everything in between. So that's my week. That's what my week looks like.
Okay.
I got a question. Like, how can people, like, I have a little bit of an edible and I feel like I'm done. Like they're eating the whole thing, like whole meals and things.
So it's all about dosing and making sure that it's done properly so that people aren't passed out for 2 and 3 and 8 days. So I teach the math on that, because people actually need to know. Because like people, if you make them good enough, sometimes you really can't taste, you know, the flour in it. And so people are like, oh, this is delicious. And then they're like this. And then, you know, 2-3 days later, they're like, I don't know what happened. It's gone. And you're like, I mean, but why? So now I teach about that, about proper dosing and how to actually put it in your process. So yeah.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Y'all hear that? Proper dosing matters, so you don't pass out.
Don't kill the people.
You don't pass
the hell out. Things like you Cookie Monster. Like, chill out.
Word.
Look, okay.
Cool your jets.
Well, I know me and my wife, we got a little trip we're taking to the beach tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to
Juneteenth.
that. You know what I'm saying?
We childless. I'm excited.
Yeah, our son is in New York, so you know we're gonna be at the beach.
Excited.
We're gonna be at the beach.
I'm outside. Right. We're outside.
So Jess, what up? Wait
a minute,
I was gonna. Okay, go ahead, babe. Go ahead.
I was gonna just talk about the weekend real quick because it's Tuesday. So the lovely city of Charlotte has so many wonderful things in celebration for Juneteenth, which is tomorrow. Okay, so they had their Juneteenth block party, which was amazing. We celebrated the culture, the freedom, the beauty of the Black diaspora. hmm And it was a good time. A good time was had. It was in Uptown, and I hope everybody just tries to connect with their roots tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I know we still got to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. Only us can free ourselves. But at least we not in chains, praise God. I'm just gonna leave it there. So go out, do something, be productive in your communities, volunteer somewhere. If there's a soup kitchen that needs help, if there's a place that you can donate, do the work, guys, because it begins with us, it begins with our community. And we should be giving back on special days that are now federal holidays, even though some of us do have to work, unfortunately. So I don't understand that part. But just do something to give back to your community tomorrow on Juneteenth. So go ahead, Jess. That's all I want to say. Off my soapbox.
Well, I'm hoping y'all hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So what we were saying, updating.
Yeah, just what you got brewing, and what's going on with your channel. Let's talk about that.
It's all right. I'm making some changes and everything, but it's definitely striving.
Striving. That's what's up. Yeah. All right, yo, listen. Everybody's in the building tonight. We're missing one. It looks like she's just having some connection issues. But show must go on. Show must go on until she comes in. We're gonna get it cooking. So,
right.
This topic, the first topic I wanted to jump into. I'm gonna play a little video in a little bit, but I did want to get into a read, if you don't mind. And that read is this. It says, y'all ready? Y'all strapped up? Seatbelts on? Seatbelts on.
Go.
All right, cool.
Click.
It says, man says that he will not step in if his baby mother is being physically assaulted, I should say, by her new boyfriend because it is not his responsibility. She is no longer under his protection. So, ladies, what's your thoughts about that? No?
So that particular situation. So I say that particular situation, I think it's kind of selfish because if he's that's the baby mother that he's talking about, you have a whole child that you have to worry about in connection with this person. And a lot of people kind of cut that off, knowing that if anything happened to your child's mother, your child is motherless as well, and have to deal with that situation. And I mean, if she's constantly putting herself back into that situation and don't want you to get involved, and that's not your business. But other than that, he does have an investment in that situation because of his son. Once you have a child with someone, you're connected, whether you like it or not, for the rest of their life.
Okay.
I agree with you, Jess. But when you were initially talking, I'm gonna take myself out of the situation because I know if my child's father see me on fire, he wouldn't piss in my direction. But that's just the reality of the situation. I will say, even out of relation, right? This is a human being. This is a Black woman within your community. You as a Black man do have a responsibility to protect us. I don't know how we want to be community without having our leaders protect us, right? So you being that leader in our community or striving to be that, I don't care if I'm your child's mother or we have the yada, yada, yada. It's the fact that you don't want to see another Black woman getting dogged out. Now, I understand that when other men do step into these situations, they're putting themselves in situations where they could possibly be killed or harmed in the process as well. You know what I'm saying?
We use YouTube.
Oh, sorry.
On the live.
Alive in the process as well. So, or harmed in a really bad way in the process as well. So, I know a lot of men are very cautious about stepping into DV situations because they don't want to put themselves in bad situations just for that person to go back to that situation. So, I'm looking at it from like a community perspective, not necessarily my baby dad has to help me or step in if he sees something happening to me, because we don't have that relationship, and I don't know what that relationship looks like to be completely honest. But if you want to be leaders in the community, it's really good to see that you guys are stepping up to protect us and to let those know who want to harm us in these ways that, hey man, is this what we really want to do to each other, just from a relational and community perspective. So I'll take it on that positive note, but yeah, that's my opinion on that.
Yeah, oh boy. I'm gonna have to go with Mingo's face. Oh, excuse me, with GMT's faces on this one. Men don't do it for anybody that they're not connected with. I'm not surprised. I'm to hear it. It's not surprising. Let me say that I'm not surprised that a man that says, "Oh," because he probably beefing with the baby mom, probably don't like her, probably got issues in other situations going on. I'm not shocked to hear that, oh, if she's having an issue with another man that she's with, that, oh well, that's between him and her now. Once their loyalties, die off in that way, whether you have a familial connection with them or not, meaning like a child or something like that, they're not going out of their way to quote unquote protect you. A lot of men have expressed their feelings about even getting involved in any small fashion. Oh, I've seen so many situations happen like this, and I've seen situations happen like that. And, they're not really doing that and stepping up in that way. So, I mean, whereas I want to have my shot, grab my pearls, like, I can't believe he wouldn't protect the mother of his child. You mean the child that he probably don't even want and don't like that broad? No way. Like, I mean, I unfortunately, I want to see it, but I can't. Like, I get it. Like,
if he was on fire, he wouldn't even pee on the ground.
Wouldn't blow a booger on you. What do you mean? Wouldn't even blow his nose.
Man.
Wouldn't even blow a loogie on you.
Babe, what's your thoughts on it?
So Tiara, your point was so beautiful and it was eloquent, and I'm all about the community bringing us together because that's what we need, especially in lieu of Juneteenth, my sister. However,
amen.
However, as wonderful as that would be, the reality of it is, if it was me in that situation, because we not, if it was someone I knew that was in a situation like that, if it was a close family member, if it was a brother, cousin, etc., or friend, and he said, yo, my baby mom's in some stuff and I don't know what to do, I'm like, sir, you need to call the authorities. You need to call that number, 911. You need to call them on behalf of, maybe you can leave a tip or something and go get your child. Go get him. Yeah, because it's obviously an unsafe environment. Then you need to get the courts involved and get like some paperwork, because we need to make sure that the babies are safe. I'ma just say that. because whatever homegirl shorty doo-wop gonna do, that's gonna be on her. And then, you know what I'm saying, she could very well turn around, like just stated, and turn around and go back into the same situation. So I think the safety of the child is most paramount, or children is most paramount. It would be great. It would be great if, you know, that community aspect was there, but really and truly, like, we know it's that's just not life. And really we have to focus on what's who can't actually defend themselves, with defenseless in the situation, which is the child or children. So what the mother decides to do, just like if it was on the other end, if it was the male in a bad situation, maybe he is, you know, in between jobs, he ain't got a place to live, or he living with his mama or whatever. No court is going to be saying, oh, well, let the child live with his father. No, your situation's not stable. You're not in a good situation. The child is going to go where the stability is. So I think that type of situation, with the mother being in a DV situation, is definitely an example of an unstable, unsafe environment where the child does need to be removed. So I would definitely say, hey, call 911, get the
All right.
cops.
So the question would be, what does protection look like, right?
Mm.
So
She just said it.
So no, and I understand. All right, I'm talking to you, Tiara. Talking to you, because you said that men have an obligation, right, and a duty.
No, okay.
To...
Let me walk that back, child. Let me walk that back.
All right.
Because you know how y'all get in the comments or whatever. Because
First of all, before y'all come in the door, while y'all come in the door in the comment section, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. All right, so go ahead, Tiara.
I like
walk
y'all.
that back. Walk that back a little bit.
I'm gonna walk that back, or I'm gonna explain myself. So when I was coming from that perspective, I was speaking because it's all the not all. What I've been seeing lately is men, Black men specifically, wanting to be this leader figure. They want you to follow them, and they want you to, you know, rest in your femininity and all this good stuff. And I think if we are talking community minded, even though in the community we do be beefing, trust me, we beef, men, women on women, men on men. If men if they proclaim to be these leaders, I feel like leaders do put their ish aside to protect. And protection looks like possibly calling the people 911, getting the child, or step into that man. I don't know. However that man sees fit to help or protect that Black woman in that predicament, they have the options to do that. I look at, and maybe this is coming from a person who's seen their father, grandfather really step up for folks that they did not have any relation to or attraction with or anything in that matter, for them to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing my dad help out someone that he saw in a DV, or seeing somebody, you know, just helping somebody out in the community because they were Black women. I feel like our community, our community, the Black community, often loses.
Tiara,
what?
I'm gonna ask you a question real quick. Tiara.
Okay.
Do you think that today's times is different than the times of your father's, or even your father's father?
Yeah, times are different.
So do you
y'all
believe that
y'all want to be the old times too, with the whole follow you blindly?
So here's the thing, right? We want our wives to follow us blindly. We don't want just random women to follow us blindly. You know what I'm saying? We already know what today is, right? Today's woman is today's woman. Today's man is today's man. Today's man, we could actually, if we start looking at stats again, and I know y'all hate that, but if we start looking at stats again, we could actually turn around and say that the majority of our community is raised without a father figure. So no one's teaching that man how to step up and how to be that Superman. What we're seeing also is a very heavy crime rate that's happening in our community as well. So if I know that the likelihood is I'm going to go and step in and put my cape on for my baby moms, and her man that she chose might turn around and end me, I'm not gonna do that. What I would, the form of protection that I believe a man should give is exactly what Dion said. Get the police involved. Go get your children. That's all I got to offer you. I'm going to get my children. I'm not going to offer you a place to stay because this man is not going to come over by my house, you know.
Well, I didn't say that now. I didn't say stay at the house. I said the form of protection could be either you call the people.
Well, no, so I'm giving different forms of protection,
even,
right?
You know what? I wouldn't even be mad if the man even give her a little couple dollars for a hotel for that night so that their
Would
child...
you be okay? Would you be okay with your baby daddy doing that? With your husband doing that?
Yes.
Giving his baby mama, let's say like $1,000 just to get back on her feet. Would you be okay with that?
Why are you putting the money? Like
I'm putting a dollar amount on it, right?
Like we don't need $1,000
what would
to
it matter?
get right for the night.
This is his baby mom, so maybe not the night, but maybe just to get out and get into a safe space. And she gonna need to eat. She gonna need shelter. She gonna need X, Y, and Z. So I have $1,000 to spare. Can I give that to my baby moms out of our budget?
If you don't have any other options, because there's other options, but if he is the last resort and you want your child, if not with us, I'm most likely going to tell you to bring the child to us so we can make sure Shorty good, do whatever she needs to do, and she wouldn't have to take care of the child in any way, financially or otherwise. Me personally, and this is probably why I have like the weirdest, biggest heart, I would be like, you know what? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll let you have the $1,000 because I'm gonna get it back. I'm gonna triple it. It doesn't, I don't know, something about that doesn't really bother me because I see the humanity in things, and maybe that's where a lot of people will be like, Tiara, what the hell? I do see it. I'm too nice. I think I'm too nice because I'm saying it and I'm like, wow, I would really do that. But I really do believe in protecting women, even women that I'm most necessarily not going to be at odds with because whatever. But most women,
like I said, a lot of it has to be what form of protection is that man offering? Is your baby daddy?
I don't want to put him into harm's way, so I know
you should never want that. And like I said, to me, I believe the love for your man should be so much so that you wouldn't want him to lose his life for no one, but you or your children, right? Or his children, whatever the case is, his baby mama, right? So my protection comes in the form of taking my children, and whatever goes on between you and that man, figure it out. Because guess what? God forbid something happened to you. That kid could live with me for the rest of their life. Or until they get older and spread their wings. You know what I'm saying? But if this man decides to take my life, it's over. I can't help my kids no more. The likelihood is, my current wife is going to move on. And I'm dead. I'm ghost. I'm ghost. That's why I say it's not worth it. I believe men need to love themselves. And I believe if you're with a wife, you need to love you.
So what does protect, so my biggest question is going to be, no, it can't be that. Because I think accountability within the community can be a little bit tricky. Continue, just continue.
So
accountability and how that looks. But
so, I think the accountability part, like we was saying, is I'm accountable for my children. That's it. I'm not accountable for you. We broke up. God, you probably broke up with me. The likelihood. I'm gonna go running back and protecting you.
The responsibility is to the children, not necessarily accountability. So you, as a parent, are responsible for the safety and well-being of your child. You are not responsible for the safety and well-being of their mother, especially if she is not your wife. So that part of it is where I understand where Tiara's coming from concerning a community aspect, because yes, in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, there was a different type of code when it came to men, when it came to community, how we as a people would respond and revere and respect our men, and that has changed significantly. But I understand also your stance, babe, where it's like, okay, well, that ain't got nothing to do with me, and times have changed, et cetera, et cetera. So what am I supposed to do as a man? I'm supposed to make sure my kids is good. That's where it stops. You know, unfortunately, because we are living in the times that we are living in, and it is what it is. Yeah, the only person or persons that you would be held responsible as the father is to the child. Me myself, I'm thinking like, where her mama at? Like, obviously, if y'all was in a relationship enough, so much so that y'all was able to make a child together, you gotta know her mama number. You gotta know some of her people number. Get on the phone. Hey,
I
she in a
guess
bad
you're
situation.
speaking about
She
our
in a bind.
community in
Come help
particular,
her.
because why not where the daddy at?
Where is he?
Where the daddy, the mama, the uncle, anybody, the cousin? Yo, your girl is messed up in the game. I'm gonna go pick up the baby, but you should go get her. I call 911. They on the way. Yeah, because no, I'm sorry. Like, really and truly, I'm not. And I maybe I'm petty Betty. I feel like I'm not petty. I feel like, my heart is, is big, but I might be like, you know what I'm saying? Let me take myself out of it.
That's what I had to do. The reason why my answer is this, because I took myself in my situation completely out of it. So that's why I'm being very like objective about, like, I'm giving you kind of like, from a community perspective, it'll be great for us to hold each other.
So let me ask the panel. Let me ask the panel this. Do y'all feel we can get back to where men want to protect y'all? Because I already know how y'all feel. Y'all don't feel like black men protect y'all, whatever the case is, right? But do y'all feel like we could ever get back? No? Okay. So, Kit, why do you say no?
Y'all got passports and want to take your 60K and make it 120K in Mexico. Y'all got bigger objectives to do right now. Like, trying to build with us and do something is really not what y'all are looking to do. Y'all rather tell us how horrible we are as black women in America and how y'all can find a better one someplace else that'll listen to y'all ill-gotten directions and instructions and have us living in a desert somewhere because y'all took the wrong turn at Albuquerque. I mean, but what do I know?
So let me speak on that real quick. Yo, Kit be killing me, yo. So
it's the way she goes. It's the
hilarious. But I hold on. We got a super chat. My God, Block Chain in the building.
Oh my God.
Oh, sorry, my fault. Wrong one.
No, it was the right one. Go trade something. Don't do something. Wait until Sunday.
No. My guy's in the building. All right, Block Chain says
the $9.99, praise God. Mm-hmm.
Where every person on a team may be with. Let me read the super chat, ladies. Let me read the super chat. We got to respect the super chat. All right. It says every person on a team may be responsible for a given task that is required to complete a massive project. Accountability is what happened after a situation has occurred. I agree. So let me just,
yeah, because I don't. Okay.
Listen. Let me. Yeah, that's my guy. He got it. Blockchain in the building. What up, my guy? What up? Great show on Sunday.
Thank you for the chat.
I'm so I had to do what I had to do for my family, but I did miss the show. I did miss being on the show, and I missed the opportunity to actually, get a chance to work with blockchain in a whole team setting. But we're gonna get that popping soon. All right. So with that being said, so let me just talk about what Kit was just saying, right? Got to get back to what Kit was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Men as a whole, we want y'all. I keep saying this. We want to protect y'all. We want to. Believe it or not. Believe it or not.
Wait, time out. Willie gonna have to do something else besides address me, because I'm gonna flip the fuck out. Like, I don't care. Like, he follows me everywhere. He's on here now. He was there Sunday. Like, I mean, Jesus Christmas. Like, he gonna have to get like, real
listen.
Like, I would say, you already know, I don't put my words to nobody. Like, you need to find something to say.
Listen, ma. So, let me just address that point real quick. Let me just address the point of what you were just saying, right? We all in all want to lead and protect y'all. How many times have we heard from y'all that you guys don't need a man, don't want a man, because whatever your mama may have experienced from a man and what she may have put down on you, now that reflects on how you go about. Not saying you, Kid. I got to be clear. Kid, not you.
Oh, I wasn't even.
Not
I was
you.
I was in my head trying to figure out how not to unalive people.
Don't do it.
No.
Don't do it. So listen, let's focus. We here, right? So not you, Kid, but just in general, right? How many times have we heard our sisters say that? Now our sisters want to be mad when men are actually listening. There's literally songs that calls us all types of names for years. Now men are actually listening and saying, you know what? I want to get my passport because these women in these other countries are treating us like queens, like how we want to be treated as men. Stay out the comments. Like how we want to be treated as men, right?
They making fun of you in different languages.
Huh? The women are making fun of us in different
languages? They're calling you broke in Spanish. I'm sorry. They're calling you a lick in Spanish.
Not in mass.
How you say broke? They're say broke in Spanish.
You say that, but if you go online and you actually see how those women treat black men, whether you say they call it broke or not in Spanish, mass majority of men that are passport bros are going to do their thing. Now, listen, me, do I say that I'm all for that movement? I just say go where you want it. That's it. But I do believe you can still find a sister that could get on your page. That's me you commenting as. Kid. I don't know. But listen, you probably still logged into my account.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah.
I want people to know what I said myself.
All right. So stay out the comments. Let's have the conversation, y'all. Let's have the conversation, right? Because remember, we got to be
I'm gonna be honest, and I know she's talking about passport bros, but my next thing that came up for me when you were just talking is it the reason why black men don't feel comfortable approaching other black men and protecting us in those physical ways where you're being directly confrontational? Is it because you're afraid of other men as well? Like, afraid of each other? I feel like that is also a real thing. Like,
listen, no one wants to die, Tiara.
That's true. I'm not saying y'all got to be like on some other mission, but what I'm saying is it's also fair to say that you are very, how should I put it, cautious. And
you have to be. Listen, man to man.
Right?
Listen, keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. Anytime I have a conversation with a man, and every man feels this way, there is always going to be an underlying threat of violence, right? The whole thing is does that other man care to cross that line or not? But if we know that if I say something around any man that could tape him off the edge, there's going to be a threat of violence. The reason why you don't feel that threat of violence is because you're more protected by the law than we are. If me and let's say Quint in the comments got into a fight today, right? the likelihood is they just gonna come, break it up, and say, hey, you go home, or who wants to press charges? If me and you got into something today, I'm going to jail. You're protected by the law, men to men would not. Also, here's another thing. You literally could see situations where women are getting, assaulted, right? And while they're being assaulted, a man may jump in, but that man may have a weapon on him. He won't do nothing with that weapon to the woman, but he'll turn around and do something with the weapon to the man.
So isn't that like a larger conversation? The fact that you are literally echoing, if we as women should be afraid at that threat of violence for men, and other men are afraid of the threat of violence for other men. Like,
what's the conversation?
The conversation is like, why are we feeling like this? Like, I don't know how to like put it, but I'm trying to like articulate myself. But it's like, if you're afraid of men and we afraid of men, isn't the problem?
But no problem. The problem is inherently we live in a world where violence is a real thing. And you're not gonna stop that. You're not gonna stop it. I'm not gonna stop it. It is what it is. This is why women need protection, children need protection, even men from men need protection. Women are violent too. Women be out here committing mad crimes, going to jail, doing all types of stuff. Okay, so if we go ahead, honey.
What I was gonna say is I was thinking about that while the conversation was going on about the protection part when it comes to men to women. I mean, we're all, which is very ironic. We're all from New York, right? We're all from New York. We've all been on the wonderful MTA going our way. You know, when you see something, say something. And how many of us, whether we've seen it in person or online, has seen a lady, a female, a young woman, smack the Mario coins out some dude, and everybody just like, oh, that's crazy. And she's going ham, she's going crazy, she's talking all crazy in his face and everything like that. And then the dude could be holding his peace. He just trying to
as you would do, kid, as you would do, Tiara.
And then he knocked the sonic rings out of her, and then the dudes come in and be like, no, and try to break it up and start,
it don't be break it, he get beat up.
Yeah, he usually get beat up. So it's like, what I was gonna say with that is, why aren't we also holding our women, because we're all ladies here, why aren't we saying, yo, chill out to the women? Usually don't see a woman interceding on behalf of a man to say, because obviously the man isn't supposed to hit the woman, right? He's not supposed to retaliate. So if you see another woman getting crazy, getting buck wild on another dude, talking to her crazy in his face, you can tell they may not know each other, whatever the case may be. Yo, chill, calm down, mom. It's all right. Come sit down, whatever. We don't do that. So then when she pop him, and then he retaliate, and then now the men folk get on jumping on him, and now it's a big kerfuffle. It's like I feel like we need to hold ourselves accountable. We have to hold our women accountable for being violent with men, and we need to hold our men being violent with women and with other men. Like, that's the part of the community aspect too that we need to remember, is like, okay, there has to be a line. And I feel like that line, there used to be a line there that was really, really clear. Back when you was talking about, Tiara, with your father, grandfather, elders in your community that you saw be a certain type of man, there was a clear line of, if something happens, this is how we're going to respond. That line is like so blurred, almost non-existent, where it's almost like anything goes. You know what I'm saying? And now
I'm gonna play something real quick while you this is along those lines. Hold on, I'm gonna show y'all.
Is a medical abortion.
No, it's not. Okay, let me educate you, okay?
Yes,
well, hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. Get back. Hey, get back. Hey,
get
that's
back. Not okay. Don't
back. Hey, get back. Stop. Don't put your hands on her. Please, I don't want to scare your daughter. Please get away.
Is that a no?
Now, that woman knows she's protected by the law. She's protected by other men that's around her. So that would make her act that way. Exactly what Dion was just saying happens and it's not just the Black community.
I do.
It's women in general.
Yeah, I do acknowledge that women do put their hands on men. And let me be very clear and put this on the internet, child. We is on the internet. I do not condone, nor I will ever back a woman who puts her hands on anyone, especially other men, because you are protected, right? I do believe men are a part of DV just like women are, and that can be wear and tear on their mental as well as physical. So going forward, I do acknowledge that men are, a part of that group of folks that are possibly going to be abused, and violence do come from both men and women. But what I was saying is, like, if we all feel like there's an underlying kind of issue when it comes to men, and I'm being very specific and men, like, if you know that man is buck wild and can get buck wild with you as another man, imagine being a woman in that situation. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of disheartening now that I'm saying this out loud.
But
the fact that we have to be afraid of each other in these ways.
But are you surprised because
there are
it's been
no
like
lines anymore?
But are you surprised because it's been like this from the beginning of time, right? Where violence has always been a common threat between man on man. Yeah. It's always been that way. This is not something that's been happening in the past like 20, 30 years. It's been centuries. There's been wars between men. So a threat of violence is always known between a man and man. This is what would make a man see me walking with my wife, and if she looks beautiful, he might want to say something, but he might see my size, he might see my stature, and he's gonna be like, let me think twice about it. But he might see a short guy who might not be, you know what I mean, and see his girl looking all beautiful and be like, yo, man, the hell with him. Yo, shorty, what's up? He knows now I could probably win. That happens in New York all the time. I've literally witnessed that mad times on Jamaica Avenue. So this is what I'm saying. Like, it happens. It happens. The threat of violence is always there between man on man.
I don't think it's the question of the threat of violence. I think it's so much, from what I was gathering that Tiara was saying, was the fact that there's no line now. There's no chill. Funny.
Well, what do you mean by no chill?
In a sense, there's there would usually be a certain level of decorum of like, okay, I'm not going to cross this line as a upstanding citizen in my community, in the world, in society. Now it ain't there no more. It's just like, it's really whatever goes. Like, you see, just like you said, you see it. You'll see a man popping off on another man because, okay, you may not be as tall as the other man, so you're not really commanding that type of respect. But you'll see dudes pop off on women all the time now. Like, just blatantly, like, you see a shorty pop, you just pop her upside the head. You know what I'm saying?
I don't see that happening all the time.
You may not see it happen all the time, but there's definitely more acts of violence now in more urban communities where it's like you can't even walk down the street anymore. You get grabbed up or somebody smacking you behind.
And Tiffany, I think what you're describing is like the social contract that we had in society.
Yes.
Specifically with the Black community. I'm not really talking about us in relation to other communities. But within the Black community, there was a certain understanding we had, and I think over the years that social contract has eroded to nothing.
Yeah,
and
look at how, and I'm gonna hold men accountable to a certain level that we do, but you also got to hold our sisters accountable for the threats, for the way that they put themselves out there as well. Our women are putting themselves out there if we breaking this down to the Black community now, right? Our sisters are putting themselves out there very masculine. Very masculine. Men look at women as docile. That's been a thing that we've looked at, when we see like a dainty woman, as Kit would say, speaking in her soft voice. The femininity is just there. She's not bucking up to a man, or she's not the sexy Reds of the world, the little Kims of the world, the woman that's just, I don't need
They
no
don't
man.
deserve protection. They don't deserve protection. Sexy Red
From the
and
men,
Lil Kim
from
don't
the
deserve
men that from the men that want to protect them. They don't deserve protection from every man. No.
Why
No.
not?
Why? Who wants
Why
to
not?
risk their lives for them? Who wants to
Why
risk their
not?
lives?
Are they not human? Are they
Because
not
you're
women?
not a man, so you'll
Black
never
women
understand that.
get certain levels of protection.
The level of protection.
That's crazy to me. That's
No,
crazy.
and it's real. It
What you
could be
said?
crazy. But the women that get protection nowadays are the women that we choose. Your husband's gonna protect you. But would you want your husband to get red rummed in Walmart protecting another woman?
Baby, it's every man for
Tiara.
himself. Don't even
I guess
argue.
so. It is every man for themselves.
Well, no. Kit, I want Tiara to answer that question. Would you be okay, or would you be able to live with the fact that your husband, now you're married, would you be okay if your husband got red rummed in Walmart trying to protect another woman?
I would not be okay, but
you'll understand it, right? He's not here no more to protect you or your children.
I would want someone to protect me. Like, I want somebody outside of my marital status to see that I deserve to be protected.
Tell him call the
because I'm
cops.
in this.
Make sure he's on the phone with the cops and not recording it.
Oh, for sure. Like,
that's
make
the
sure
level of
he's on the
protection that
make
other
sure
man
he
deserves.
is taking the proper, and protection doesn't necessarily meaning him putting his body in the face of.
That's what you're talking about, though.
I'm talking about
violence between men.
Stepping up in some way. I'm not necessarily saying he has to put his body on the line.
Right. And no, I get that. Everybody deserves that kind of protection.
Yeah. And protection also looks like you not being in community with these men that act like that continuously put violence on other women. Just like we as women, if we see another woman, if somebody that I'm friends with and I see her, hitting on her man or doing something, we will no longer be friends if you continue to do that. Like, right. I can't be in community with you. I'm gonna also start to tell you, girl, you wow. You wow.
Tiara, give me 1 second. We got a super chat. We got a super chat from Quint. What up, my guy? He says, it's not about being afraid. It's about minding your business. He said, when you're getting hit in public, it's definitely not your first time being hit and you're still with him. If I beat him up, you still go home with him, which is true. That happens in most cases. I was telling y'all, I said this on one of our open conversation shows a while back, where I was in Manhattan and a woman was getting assaulted. I decided to put on a cape, and the fellas that I was with decided to put on a cape and go and help that sister. She turned on us, telling us, do not touch my man. My man, my man, my man. What am I going to do? To say that women don't deserve protection, y'all get the protection, and some of y'all don't want it. How are we supposed to look at y'all and just decipher who deserves it or not? Or say, this is who's going to risk, who's worth risking our lives for, or potentially our freedom? Because guess what? The courts is not going to hear that if I say, yo, son was hitting his wife, so I took him out.
Yeah, no.
You shouldn't have took him out.
I think we should just do like how MTA said, you see something, say something. Just call the police. Keep it moving. Like, I mean, I think the part of it when it comes to the whole recording thing, we've been so desensitized with everything needing to be on air. air, on the internet, have it recorded. That has been a also a form of defense for us in many ways, in different situations where it really counted. But that's not the only way. Yes, it helps to record, but it also helps to um get the emergency line cracking, you know what I'm saying? And just, you see something, say something, but you don't have to physically put yourself in harm's way. And I wouldn't endorse another man to do that. I have a son, I have bonus sons. I would not endorse or encourage them to put themselves in physical harm's way. Call the authorities. That's what they're here for. We pay tax to them every daggone paycheck. That's what they need to be doing. So yeah,
You know what? And I do have to step in and say something, because this is kind of wild to me. Like, real talk. Like, mainly because we're saying call the police. The police still got to get there. Like, I'll tell anybody, call the police on me. They still got to get there. I'm going to still whoop your ass before they get here. They still got to get here. You got at least 15, 20 minutes. I mean, knocking you between the washer and the dryer before they get here. So, I mean, my personal is the best thing a woman can do for herself, especially in nowadays, make sure that you have your pow license and you go to the range and learn how to use that joker, and make sure that your self-defense courses are up to par. Because I'm going to tell anybody in a minute, God loves all of his children. That does not necessarily mean I do. And if you want to go see him early, I can send you on the express bus. I ain't got no problems with it. But that'll be something y'all have to deal with. Because what I'm not going to do is play around with one of God's penis people in my face. And I'm definitely not looking for one of them penis people. Me personally. I'm definitely not looking for one of y'all to protect me. I already know it's not. I'm not looking around like if any beef or anything go down. I'm not looking for the next man or the nearest male to come to my rescue. But what I do know is, I promise, the way that I will pull something up and out of something is miraculous. You ain't never seen nothing move that fast. You might have thought I knocked the Sonic coins clear up out of my damn dresser. Like, you wouldn't even know. But that's my purpose. And it doesn't matter if you're respectful and you don't put your hands on a man, because men will absolutely do it anyway. And it doesn't matter that I was respected. You can't take you into account, GMT, because you're
not me. Not me. I'm not about to say me. I'm gonna bring in a stat now. I'm gonna try to find this before we're done. But there is an actual stat that shows that the majority of VV cases are usually initiated by the woman. Women usually hit the man first. The man responds. He gets locked up. That's usually what happens. So it's happening more often. It'll be because how many? Maybe not y'all. Let me not speak to y'all on the panel, but I know y'all have friends that hit a man in front of you, right? Whether it was jokingly, whether it was like, shut up, and hit a man. Now, how much times do the men respond back in violence? Very rare, right? Does that man respond back in violence? But if he did, it's like, did she deserve it? Right? Or you could say the man's just bigger, he should have more self-control. But to say that, women are not out here initiating a lot of this violence, it's not accurate. It's not accurate. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women are actually initiating a lot of the violence that's happening today. When it's retaliated, it's almost like, now I want to find that stat for you. But when it's retaliated, it's like, all right, what do we do? The man's gonna get locked up. So I agree. But Kit, you made a very good point. Women need to take self-defense classes, period.
I mean, and I'm not even being funny, you know what I'm saying? Because whether I'm respectful, whether it doesn't matter. If someone wants to violate, they're gonna violate. You feel what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter, I'm being this quiet, docile being, or whatever the case is. If you got a beef and a grievance, and like you said, men already have a propensity for violence anyway. If you really want to take it there, you're gonna take it there. And so I'm not playing with y'all at all. I don't even like y'all talking to me crazy, because you talk to people crazy and that can escalate into something else. Like everybody gonna talk like we got sense, or don't talk to me at all, and I'm okay with that. You don't have to be my friend. Please don't breathe on me. Like I'm great. Like, but again, I personally, women, whether you're respectful, non-respectful, sexy red, Jenny Iota, I don't care who you are, learn to protect you, because it is men out here literally telling you that you're not worth protection, that you don't deserve protection from every man, that they're not willing to step up. So if that is the case, I don't care what any chat bot is saying, I don't care what anybody is saying. Learn to make sure that you take care of you, because at the end of the day, if you're not taking care of you, then you are screwed. And several men have literally just said that.
So hold on 1 second. I want to address this from Mozzie P, right? Mozzie P says a man should walk away before putting his hands on a woman, no matter what. And this is the part, even if she's the aggressor. Now, do I agree with walking away? No. Because you could walk away and that woman could literally do some straight harm to you. Do I believe in restraining a woman? As my man Quint would say, put a bear hug on her, keep her in her place, because she can't beat you, the likelihood. So, but nah, man, you can't just sit there and just let women beat up on you and you're just walking away and she hitting you beside your head, because that happens a lot of men, believe it or not. And we heard that from our mamas and all these women for years, where it's like, yo, just walk away. And I agree with that. Restrainings have a gray area as well. But what are we gonna do? How about telling women to keep their hands to themselves? That's it. Like I totally agree that, we shouldn't just be sitting here assaulting women, doing any type of, bodily harm to anyone, man or woman. But do I understand that we live in a world of violence? Yeah.
It's
So
crazy
if we
how
live in
this
this,
conversation turned from, if your baby daddy is in if your baby mama's in another relationship or something, would you protect if she's being harmed, to women, keep your hands off of men and then you won't be hit. Like, that's just, it's wild.
I'm not saying that in general. That's a
No,
part
okay,
of
that's
it
where the
though.
conversation has gone from.
Yeah,
It went
but
from
because
about
that was
this, like, it's just kind of
because
crazy
that was
how
in
it goes to that,
we're,
like, from that.
we're addressing the comments as well, right? So in the comments that was stated, and it's okay to bring up a different part of the conversation too. So if I'm having engagement, I gotta engage. So there's nothing wrong, but it's a part of the conversation. Yes, we already touched that part to where you're like, okay, what do you do if it's your baby mama or your baby daddy or whatever? We did all that, right?
No, I get that.
Get your kids, and leave her alone. But then we also talked about men being violent. But we talked about men being violent, and you're not addressing that. That was a major part of it. No, what I'm talking about right now, a major part of what we also brought up was that. But you're making it sound like all we brought up was just a woman should keep their hands to themselves. Yes, they should. Should men keep their hands to themselves? Yes, they should.
Where came into the violence was because of the actions of women. That's where, unless I missed something.
That's a part of it. Because yes, women do that. And there's a stat, and I said there was a stat saying that. Next time I'll do a whole video on it. And it'll show you
I definitely research. I'll look it up. No worries.
But I mean, I want to do it myself too, right? So I'll do a whole video on it to show that women are aggressors as well. And it happens all the time.
Well, I think,
you know what I'm saying?
I think we're not dispelling the fact that that women have the propensity, the ability, and the actuality of them being violent. I think it's more so, what do we do now? We're the end of it is just to wrap it up in a nice little bow, is everybody keep their hands to themselves. And if you see something, say something, get help, women, advocate for yourself. If you need help, get your defense classes, get your gun license, do what you need to do to make sure you're good. Because I must say I do agree with that portion of it, with Kit saying, because even me myself being a married woman, I have no expectation for any man outside to protect me at all, because I know that responsibility has changed in our community. And even going outside of our community, I know the other men ain't gonna be doing that either. The other people are not gonna be, oh, let me put on my Superman cape and make sure that this woman is fine and make sure she's okay. Ma'am, are you all right? No, I'm not expecting that. So I feel like that's just what it is. This is the world that we live in, and we just need to do better as a community and saying, hey, let's bring back some of those fundamentals of, can we have a line? Can we bring the line back? Can we have a certain level of respect for one another, that yes, if you see a woman wilding out, yo, sister, you're doing too much. Calm down before this man knock the Mario coins out of you. Hey, brother, why you in Shorty's face? What are you doing? Back up out her face. You're a man. She's a woman. You bigger than
That's
her.
not
Chill
realistic
out.
though.
Like that part, we need to be able to say that to each other without there being a fear of violence. That's the
There's
problem.
better be. So
That-
we talk about things a lot of
Well,
the way it
but
ought to be other than the way it is.
yes, no,
but that's not
we're not talking
realistic
about. We're not
because
talking
you
about
do
the
that.
art.
Look, Dion, when you're in public and you sometimes see a lady rah 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 rah, half the time when you say something, be like, chill, they're turning to you and popping it off. To be honest, it's not gonna be like you know, like much difference really if you really think about it in the society that we live now.
But that's what I'm
And
saying.
you're
We
right.
know that this is how it is. What I'm saying is how we can move forward to change that reality.
So
That's what I'm talking about. I'm
so
not
the
saying
solution,
what.
so what would the solution be again, if you don't mind explaining that, huh?
Basically continuing this conversation, having the conversations with the youth, because a lot of the violence that we are seeing is with the youth as well. So having the conversations of like, yo, you need to, if you want to be a respectable young man, this is how you need to present yourself. If you want to be a woman of class or respectability, or whatever way you want to frame it, this is how you need to conduct yourself, and you're going to garner a certain level of protection from the community at large because of that.
I
That's
think,
what I feel. I
and
know
I
what it
agree.
is and what it ain't, but this is what I'm saying. If we don't have a conversation, it's not gonna go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just gonna be talking about, well, this is where we live in, the end, period.
So
And
I
I
agree.
agree
It's
The
with
over
comedy.
to you. Go
I
ahead,
agree
Tiara.
with Tiffany, like from a solution-based perspective, if you're talking about like the way it should be versus the way it is, we want to change. Having these conversations is supposed to drive change in some way. If our conversation inspires someone to start programs to figure out like how do we get from this individualistic mindset of that's my business, I ain't got nothing to do with that, these folks is violent, I don't want to have nothing to do with them type of folks, da da da. It's going to have to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And that requires some kind of community service or giving of yourself. And mind you, there are tons of folks in the community, especially where we're located, but tons of people in the community are doing really good work, even when it comes to the youth, because we don't want to continue on generationally in this way and having these conversations at this length. We want to move and push the needle forward. And in order for us to not even get back, but to be better than our forefathers or what our fathers and grandfathers were doing, is to really do that work. We have the technology, we have the language. We didn't have that in the 60s and the 50s. We still have the same struggle. You know what I'm saying? I think it's even 10 times worse now, is because we have all these flashy lights and folks are doing well, so they feel like they're doing better and we made progress, and not necessarily have made a lot of progress because our freedoms are getting taken every day. But We need to understand, what does community building look like? Restoration. What does like reconciliation like how does reconciliation happen past the beef? Like having these conversations definitely starts there, but it also, like, again, I'm talking to the men that's on here. I'm talking to you, Mingo. Like, talk to each other. What do men talk about? Like, why?
I could tell you what we talk about, right? We only could as men, as men, we could only talk to the men that want to listen to us, right? It is what it is. A lot of these men are not being raised right. Period. I don't care how y'all break it down. Whoever you want to say is raising them, whatever. They're not being raised right, right? So it comes a point in time where some young men, I'm able to grasp. I'm able to get him. I got him, and now he's under my wing. I built a lot of young men to become better, to become fathers, be more involved, to be more, and coach men to become husbands, not just baby daddies, right? So then now you have a reason to protect a woman. Because we all know men protect what's theirs. Every society is like that. Now, if it's an individualistic thing where it's like, okay, you're getting whatever, and as a group of men, the likelihood is a group of men would come in and protect you. That's just how it is. It's still like that today, whether y'all want to believe it or not. A group of men will protect y'all. But if it's one-on-one and I'm by myself and I see something happening, I'm probably gonna mind my business because I don't know how crazy this guy is. It is what it is. I didn't wake up this morning, get my son bathed and ready for school, and got him out the door, and got myself out the door, gave my wife a kiss to lose it all for a person that probably just gonna be like, all right, that was cool. I don't know why he should have minded his business. Not gonna do that. Today is different. Our grandfather's time was a lot different than it is today. I'm sorry. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? These kids are outside with heavy artillery.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Heavy artillery. Y'all think it's a game? Like, these dudes is not walking around with little pistols anymore.
Yeah,
so they got all ARs, all that tucked in their pants leg, waiting for a dude like me who they feel like they can't beat to lay me out. You think I want to be laid out today? My life means more to me and to my family than that. So yeah, I'm gonna call the cops. And yeah, the cops might take a while to come. That's just the nature of the beast. You know what I'm saying? That's just the nature of the beast. Back in the days, so many little kids wasn't running around with firearms like they do today. So yeah, even when I was a kid, it wasn't like this. It wasn't like this. You know what I'm saying? It changed. So with that being said, it's all love. I love y'all. Black men love y'all. Whether you want to believe it or not, we love y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's why we marry y'all the most. And we're going to continue doing that, whether y'all want us to or not. Yes, kid.
What? What I do now? Breathing. Y'all know I gotta breathe. I just be breathing.
You know what I'm saying? Salute, my guy. Salute.
Go home, Kenny.
He was dropping bombs on Sunday. I missed it. You know, and I didn't even get a chance to watch the full replay, but y'all listen, Kid did amazing on Sunday.
Let's give a round of applause. Press the button. Press the
hold on, let me press the button.
Give a round of applause.
Yo.
So that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
When the Kid dropped the whole...
wrangle those men and get them together. That was good.
Yeah, you did your thing, Kid. I'm happy.
Thank you.
No regrets. You did your thing. So, with that being said, we're going to move on to the next topic. We are going to move on to the next topic. This right now, we are going to the cap of the week.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No.
You're not going down there. I'm not sure what else I need to say, but you need to hear me clearly. You go down there, we gonna have a problem. It ain't nothing about me being insecure. Insecure for what?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, insecure for what? I got the man.
It's a hospital.
It's what they got to do with it. Tell me why you need to go down there. Give me one good reason.
I mean, that's my first love. We done been through thick and thin. I'm the same way how I'm going with
So you keep saying that this is your first love. So you still in love with her?
I'm not saying that. But
you still in love with this?
See, now you're overthinking. That's not you thinking too deep.
I'm overthinking.
That's not how that
You
goes.
still in love with this girl?
No, that's not how that goes.
All right, so I'm gonna stop it there. But listen, I don't know if that's a skit or not, right? But how do y'all feel about that? How do y'all feel if a man is going to go see? Hold on. Let me finish saying what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Go
How do
ahead.
y'all feel that if a man was gonna go see his ex
Oh
on her
my
dying
God.
bed?
Dion,
What's-
you're out of control. Oh
Go ahead, Dion. Tell me how you feel if I
Absolutely
wanted to see
not.
one of my exes.
Nope. Wrong again. Run it back because it ain't gonna happen. Sorry, Captain. It ain't going. It's no. You can
All
send
right,
some
so tell me
flowers.
why. Tell me why. Why? Why wouldn't it be okay?
I as much as we don't like these comments, I'm going to say it because what's good for the goose gotta be good for the gander. If you ain't trying to have me like, oh, it's gonna be okay. Let me get the pastor to come pray for him. We gonna lay hands. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I'm not doing that. We gonna touch and agree in the prayer meeting. We gonna pray for Shorty. You know what I'm saying? Make sure she make it. Amen.
Right.
And I ain't even Catholic. And move on. You're not about to be sitting at her bedside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. I got something for that, y'all. I got something for that.
Oh, wow.
Please.
Go ahead.
Oh, wow.
Continue.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why you're saying Cap, because you already know.
Go ahead, Tiara. What do you feel
am
about
dead and buying.
I mean, she could choke on that IV. I don't know at this point because it's not. I should say that. My bad. Sorry. Okay.
it?
I would not. I will feel some type of way. Why is you still pondering on your first love? Like, I'm sorry, I'm your last love. That's the end of it. You
My
to
last
have
love?
a hold for
First, my
sickness
last
and
love.
health. Like you did that with me, my guy. You didn't do that with old girl in the bed. You know what I'm saying? So there's no need to be crying on her bedside. She got her peoples. She got the priest, whoever, but it ain't you. It ain't gonna be you.
Evil people.
That part.
If it is you, if that's what you want to be, I can let that happen. But remember, what every action is going to be a consequence.
Did you say
There's
she
a
could choke on
reaction.
her IV?
You know what? I had to bring it back.
That was her carnal. That was the flesh talking. She back now. She back.
I'm
She
back
got
now.
the Jesus
I'm back
in her.
now.
The Jesus in her wants to see the Jesus in you. She's all right.
I'm trying, y'all. That old ear popped out. But what I'm saying is, if you feel like you need to go up to the hospital, just know that there's a consequence for that action.
What's the consequence?
It depends. It depends. You know how
Depends is an old person's diapers.
It's the way you said that.
Because it can get real petty around here. It can get petty. Because I want you to understand my objection to it in the first place.
I'm gonna keep this cap on for the rest of the show. It fits the panel.
You don't want me in old boy face. If something happened to him, he gets shot up, or he's sick, or he fell down with the vid, or whatever is going on. You don't want me crying next to his bedside.
Okay, yeah, don't say the word. Don't say the word. Don't say the word.
Catching up.
Can't say that.
Oh, wait, what?
No, you didn't. Not you. I'm Dion.
Oh,
I almost said it. I just kind of said it.
Catching up. You don't want me catching up with some old situations, because why are we catching up with oldness? And why do you know she's sick?
But
who told you? You should have blocked her when you came to me. I had to block old boy. Why? Don't give me. Okay, go.
Her brother posted it. Her brother
blood
posted it
pressure
on IG, and I saw that his sister was sick, and I'm now in my.
You should have blocked her brother.
What?
Wait, what? Wait, are y'all for real right now? I'm just trying to check.
That's why I got this cap on.
Like, I'm not even being funny. I'm like really trying to check. I don't know if there's jokes going on, inside shit.
No,
you
don't have to block the brother. But my biggest thing is I do not agree with him going down there to sit by her bedside.
The person's on their deathbed.
They're dying. They're not gonna pop out. It's not like their visit is gonna miraculously give them life again. Like
that's fine.
Bye, not
that's okay.
House, like
y'all just I don't know. I can't call it for y'all. I don't know. Maybe I just need to hear a little bit more on y'all stance on it, because I think it seemed like me and Tiara, we on the same page, but I would like to hear the page y'all on.
Yeah, I would like to hear
my page is this: a man gonna do what he gonna do, whether you put shackles on his feet and let him dance or not. So if you want to go and see someone that's on their deathbed, I don't have a problem with that. I think a lot of the times people also forget that not all relationships just start off as sexual connections. A lot of people are friends before they engage into actual relationships. And once the relationship ends, doesn't mean that the friendship has to, but that's all about peoples and partners. And I just have a different energy on that. You want to go see the dead bitch, go see her. I mean, I mean, she dying. I mean, what am I going to do? She dying. Like, I mean, it's not like I'm going.
So you're not seeing her. You not seeing her.
Don't give her no mouth to mouth, and don't you dare pull out that defibrillator. When that heart better go. You better not shock her back here. I mean, she dying. I mean, but that's also me. Like, if she's dying, it's a friend.
What if my presence brings her back to life?
Friend. That's why you really got that hat on, because that's the biggest cap. Like, if you don't stop, like,
you are not Jesus. You are not Jesus, and this ain't Lazarus. So you better stay your behind back there and sat down. Okay. Thank you.
Now you see why he put the hat on. You see, this is why. You know what I'm saying? Because the cap is real. Like, no, like if they're dying and there's nothing in proprietary
take that off.
Especially if it's someone that they've known and I knew about, and there's nothing going on, nothing hinky, ain't going to see the second cousin removed. You just going to say your last respects or whatever. Cool, because I have a lot of friends that I would hope that their significant others wouldn't be like, wasn't that big booty bitch that you used to date back in the day? Your heir might give her life again. Like, let her die alone. Like, I mean, like, to me, it's just like, I mean, go in, damn, you're dying.
Yeah, John, you're right about that.
don't die, but you're dying, so we can't tell you that. But see you in the crossroads. Like, okay,
you can say that from the crib.
Is that supposed to be a thing? Wait. Can we run that? Can we run that comment back? Run that comment back.
What,
so it says,
like,
stop. You know the answer. If y'all have no kids, then no. So because y'all have kids together, you supposed to be staying at the deathbed and saying goodbye to?
What about the protection?
I personally feel like relationships are different in that way. Like, if someone is dying,
there's no protection involved. They dying.
Here's the thing. I personally feel like if I trust my mate and the person is dying anyway, I don't see an issue with them going to say goodbye to the person, especially if they were friends and they had a relationship prior. I don't unless your man is down to hunt corpses. Is your man giving head to a corpse? Because then we really need to talk about
that. Listen. Again, it goes back to what's good for the goose got to be good for the gander. That's it for me. So it has nothing to do with trust, mistrust, security, insecurity. Ain't got nothing to do with that. If you don't want me to do that to you, don't do that to me.
So she said she can't do it. You can't do it. Like, boom.
So here's the thing. Well, let me get Jess' point on this, and then I would like to speak my piece. What's up, Jess? What's your thoughts?
I mean, I honestly, still must be something wrong with me, because I don't see a problem with going to see someone on their deathbed. I mean, the person is going. Like, I don't know, humanity. I guess humanity in me, I'm like, okay, it's a life that you had a connection with, even if it's going to the funeral. Okay, fine. If it's not that serious for most people, I don't know why you necessarily want to go to the hospital bed, but sometimes, especially depends on your connection with that person when they live. And I'm not talking about romantically, but just like, sometimes you keep in contact when your lives merge, you keep in contact with family, you keep in contact with, you get what I'm saying? So it's like one of those things where you kind of have that connection life-wise, not really romantically.
Yo, listen, I agree with all of y'all. Crazy. Now, I know my wife is looking at me like, yo, what is this black?
I was just listening to everybody. So go ahead.
But, so here's this is how I feel about it, right?
Dion, you got to put a new emoji on your face, girl. We need a new face.
I wish I could put an emoji over her face right now, the way she's looking at me.
Okay, because I can feel the eyes over here.
I feel it too. I feel it.
GNT got to be like this.
She upstairs, and I'm like, yo, it's crazy.
She's trying to figure out what you about to say. What you finna say?
And Tiara just here when she moved her braids out the way. She ready. Like she like, whoa.
Be like, let me take my notes.
So check it, right? So check it. I feel the way that y'all feel. Like honestly, I'm not gonna go see my ex on her bed. Honestly, I probably will not know. The only woman that I would know if something's happening to her is gonna be a woman I have a child with, right? My ex-wife, right? If something happens to her.
At all?
No, there's no, but I'm guessing this is no child, right? No child, no nothing. I'm not even probably gonna, the likelihood is I'm not gonna know because I don't hold ties to people that, you know what I'm saying, I was with in the past. I don't maintain friendships. I'm a married man, and it's not really that type of situation where I believe we should hold on to things that we let go a long time ago. So that's just me. Do I feel like we should do things for a tit for a tat? No, right? I don't feel as if it's like, well, if it's not good for me, it shouldn't be good for you. If you don't like it, I think you should just express what you don't like. That's it. And it's up to me to respect it. That's it. That's the boundary, right? So you lay down your boundaries. Saying things like that is almost like saying, well, okay, no matter what. So if you do something to me, I'm going to do something worse to you tenfold to make you feel the way you might not feel that way, right? But you got to understand that that's how it comes across when you say, well, if you could do it, then I should be able to do it. That's a tit for a tat.
What you were saying.
But that's how it comes across.
Can I clarify that statement then?
Go ahead.
Okay. So to clarify, when I said what's good for the goose is that needs to be good for the gander, goes in alignment with treat others how you want to be treated. That's my explanation for it. So if you have a certain level of respect or a certain you garner or request or require and expect a certain level of respect or a certain treatment, I would expect that same level you are able to then give to another person, especially when you giving it to the other person that you say you love, care for, and et cetera, et cetera. Just treat people how you want to be treated. Like if you don't want that happening to you, don't do that to somebody else. And I think really, I mean, I understand. I heard Jess and I heard Kit. I know I said I was going to just explain that part, but I'm going to just say it now real quick since I got the floor real quick. I think the part of it where it does make a difference between Tiara and myself as opposed to you guys is the thing did say wife, the wife not allowing her husband. If it's just like your boyfriend, a little whoop-de-whoop, y'all been in a committed relationship a year, a couple of months, 2 years, etc. Cool. Maybe those type of things are not a deal breaker, but I feel like one of the things that Mingo just said concerning keeping ties with old situations. You could have been friends all day. Y'all could have been childhood friends. Y'all got together. Then you ended. Y'all done. Now you're married. And now this person is sick. Yeah, we're not having those ties. I mean, I know there's some situations where that may not be the case. There's always an exception to these type of things. But I think to me, it's like the doors are closed. The door is closed. Like when we done, we done. Like keep that over there. I'm over here, because then when you start muddling things, that's when people's feelings will get hurt. Some people gonna be in their. I'd rather my ex and his family and his mama, cousin, uncle, and auntie them be mad at me than my husband be mad at me. Being in his feelings about me. 'Cause I gotta lay next to that. I gotta lay next to that other person. R.I.P. I love you. You know what I'm saying? I hope all is well. We gonna, see you at the crossroads. You know what I'm saying? But nah, we not. No, that's just me. I think.
Ask you a question though, because you said something, and just for clarification, you said, you said something about whatever's being done. What exactly is being done? Maybe that's where I'm confused, right?
What do you mean the done part? You talking about
he was like,
the
because
visiting?
whatever's being
If you're
done.
going, whatever's being done in the sense of. Now I'm trying to remember the actual sentence where I said being done, but the only thing I could think of to say to that is, if you're going to visit someone in a hospital, that is an intimate thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand it doesn't have to be romantic. It doesn't have to be romantic at all. But it's a vulnerable, it's a one-on-one, it's one of those things that it's like, I understand, been there before, been at someone's, bedside when they were sick, dying, et cetera, et cetera. Yes, that's a real deep situation. I myself, and I feel confident in saying, because of just basically what Tiara has shared, that's a little too much when it comes to something that you're open for your husband to do with his ex. Because once you make those vows, it's over. Like, all of that extra stuff is done. Like, y'all, it's done. It ain't no, we not spinning the block. It's me and you. So yes, you could pay your respects in different ways, but being at that bedside, I don't think that's a necessary thing to do. You could send a car, you could send flowers, you can go to the funeral, whatever. And some people have their boundaries on that. But even still, like, you could send your respects in a different way where it's not that, like, in that way. I think that's too much. And I don't really think it's like a security thing or a comfortability. It's just like, yo.
I'm maybe because I'm just trying to process what the too much is for someone who probably won't get back out of that bed, period, because they're dying. So that's why I'm just kind of confused. And that's what, and again, like you said, you're speaking from a marriage perspective. You're speaking from a relationship perspective in that way. I can understand the intimacy. Go ahead.
I don't think it's coming from a space of that person getting up to. I was about to say something wild. Ooh, I caught myself. Okay. I don't think it's from a perspective.
Family show. Family show.
I was about to say something real wild. I don't think that person was gonna get off that bed to go be with the the ex or whatever. I'm coming from a perspective of, like, you still have some kind of, I don't know how to put it, hidden
lingering feelings.
Lingering feelings been brought up all these years, right?
And
that's what I'm saying. Like, even if they didn't have any kind of a feeling,
and it just comes up at this moment when they're about to leave this earth. So then I'm taking a step back and I'm thinking as a woman, like, hey, I didn't know that. Like, I didn't know that about my partner. That person has been, and I'm making assumptions, because then I start to ruminate in my head, like, so did you want to be, like, are y'all like cool and buddy chubby, behind, closed doors? I'm not saying he's cheating or none of that. I'm just saying, like, does he still keep ties with her? Do they still kiki? Have they continued with a form of intimacy that I don't?
And the reason why, and that's why I asked, because when you say that, because to me, when I hear it, it sounds like y'all are almost skeptical or afraid that some old feeling will be re-triggered or possibly acted on, even though I don't know how the person's dying.
Again,
it sounds more like
fear. I don't even look at it as fear. It's just there is,
Whoa.
expectations. It's just like expectations. But I get where you and Jess are like, dog. She's it's done. Like they
and that's why I said it just sounds like
it's not a big deal.
and
But from my perspective, I guess when you are in this, I want to say this type of relationship with a man, and those that get it. And I'm not trying to make this a married.
No, I get what you're saying because a lot of women will say,
like,
I'm not opening any. I'm not giving them any. Like if they cheat, it wasn't because I gave them any leeway. I didn't have any open doors. It wasn't like there was a place for them to go and visit and everything like that. And I get that. But again, that's why I was asking for more clarification because it didn't just sound like, oh, well, if it's good for this, it's good for that. It sounded more like, if this is someone that he knew in his past and we have whatever we have, I don't want the chance that anything could potentially come up and muster in their particular space. And now it puts me in my head wondering about what they might have had going on. That's what it sounds like to me. I could be completely wrong, and I'll say I'm wrong if I am, but that's just what it sounds like. Because if there's no feelings coming up and the person is dying and I'm with the person and I trust them and I know our relationship is solid, I just personally can't foresee what other issue could it be, and the person is getting ready to be put in the finest of casket wear. Like I just
why do you need
might
to
be a
there?
cremation
question.
You know, I'm just.
Why do you need to be there?
That would be my question. What is the level of importance of this person to you that you felt like you needed to be in this setting with them? So it's not I think that something's gonna happen. It's not a fear of that, or oh my gosh, the last moment there's gonna be some kind of cheating involved. But just like you said, that is a real thing of you could have closed the door a long time ago, but then you're in the presence of that person, whether it's in that situation or a different situation, and feelings drum up. You're human. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the reality of being.
This is a good question. This is a good question.
The person was gonna survive it. It's different if they're surviving. It's another thing when they're dying, and that's the only reason why I was saying it like that. You can drum up 18 million feelings, but if they still kicking the bucket, they kicking the bucket.
So this is a good question. Are the doors closed if there's kids involved? That question would go to Dion and Tiara.
If my okay.
It was so funny, yo. It's ridiculous.
Because if it was my baby daddy,
oh man.
Matter of fact, I'll send balloons. If it was if it was my husband and his child's mother is in that type of situation, again, I think this will be coming from a space of being there and showing up for the children in whatever way they need to be shown up for, because now you have to go through the grieving process with them for losing a parent. So in that case, we going up there as a unit. We going up there to be there for the children. I know, like, you know, that's it. We going up there for the kids. It's for the kids. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing more, nothing less. Now, my situation, you know.
No different.
Do those feelings not come up because you're there supporting them with the kids or for the kids?
You know what? I can't.
We're not seeing that person still invoke some level of energy and feeling. And if that's the case, the only difference is that you're there, but that doesn't mean that.
Good question. What if he cried? What if your husband cried now?
You there and you can see the waterworks and he crying over another woman that's still dying because we know she's dead, right? Like she's holding on by one IV and one pill. We know that. But you're still, if it's okay for the kids, I'm just asking the questions because
this is a good question. Maybe I'm gonna tell you. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna stop being coy. If I see my husband crying over his baby mama,
you ready to ham up?
Yeah, let's keep it a bean. Let's keep it a bean. What would you do?
You ready to ham up? You coming through? You
This
coming
a
through like
family
old
show. I
school?
be like, well, you can cry
like
over.
Donkey Kong Jr. When he get the hammer and then he got to go start
Donkey
beating stuff
Kong
up.
Jr.
She coming through.
You over here crying, yo.
Bro.
Get this
You
together.
do you mean like Boo-hoo crying, or do you mean like
Is
Denzel
it
and
Ghost
Glory crying?
snotting, or
Let's
is
just
he
say,
like?
let's say a couple tears drop out. He's
So
like,
like
oh
Denzel from
man,
Glory.
great.
Okay, I'm fine with that. That's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But if
Oh,
you
so
over here
he has to
snotting,
have a level of emotions, right? So
you
he can't
over
be like,
here
oh,
snotting, you having a 5011 Instagram post like, oh, you heard the streets with this one. Like, no, you did not heard the streets with this one. You you over here making 1,000. Oh, I remember. Like, what,
you know what I'm
we
saying?
doing?
I just think it's funny because y'all are doing
There's
with the
definitely
kids
levels
for
to
the
it.
kids, but it doesn't stop any level
Sierra
of
said
emotion
that.
they could possibly
Sierra
have.
said that.
Well,
I said it's for the kids because I know how to show up for children.
She said she
I
loved
shook my head for that. That's nice.
But you over here
I love
crying. Is it for the kids? Is it for the woman? Like, what we crying? Oh, because you see your kids crying? Is that why you crying? Oh, okay. Are you gonna lie to me about that? I don't know. I can't put myself in that scenario. I think that was a skit also, but anyway. Like,
I think so too, because I saw other continuations and he's really going hard body. Now the whole going hard body, like especially if you know that the person that you're with have an issue with it, and you're really like, why are you going that hard?
I'm sorry, Jess. I'm sorry. Like, I was reading the comments and it didn't register what you had said. Can you repeat that, please?
Now, I was just saying I saw other versions and he kind of went hard body, and I feel like I don't know why you got to go that hard for that. That, you know, it was just dumb to me. I'm sorry. Like,
I agree with you, Jess. I agree with you because it makes it very hard. But I'm gonna be completely honest. If he posts, you heard the streets with this one 5 times that day when that heifer done went to Glory, I'm gonna hurt the streets with this next one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because what is you?
This is a family show, and we do not talk about DV, right? Exactly what we were just talking about.
Hurt the street, that means
exactly
like
what we were just. No,
the
you're gonna hurt
feelings
the
are gonna
streets
be
with
hurt,
next-
not the person or the man. No, I'm not gonna put my hands on nobody. I don't put my hands on anybody. What I'm saying is like, okay.
You're mad annoying, y'all. Mad annoying. Mad annoying.
That's not what you said. That's not what you said. You said this is a family show, and we don't hurt people. Period.
Okay.
All right.
It's a thing, but never mind.
It's a skit. Like, I mean, they have a whole bunch of skits and stuff like that, right? I will say it does bring to light because a lot of people do feel like that. Clearly, we're split on the panel. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, you definitely it's one of those things where it was a skit for a good conversation piece. Some of our constituents is ready to, you know, have people meet them in the crossroads. But, you know, other than that, other than that, you know, I feel like we might survive.
We're gonna miss everybody. We're gonna miss everybody. We're gonna miss everybody.
Look, they gonna miss everybody because you ain't gonna. They gonna miss everybody because you ain't gonna let them go say goodbye.
No, it's okay. Here's the thing. So, Sierra said something real good, and now you know I commend her because maybe she's just a little bit further along on her spiritual walk than I am. God is not finished with me. Okay, He's still working on me. All right. So what I will say is yes, I think it would be very commendable to go there, you know, to the hospital, you know, as a unit. But will I? I don't know.
It's the face for me. Cause she like
it's the face and the long pause.
had to laugh off
Oh,
camera.
I know. You know what I'm saying? Because listen.
Oh
I love. No, in all seriousness, I love my bonus children. So let's start there. Okay. If we're gonna say it's me for real, I love my bonus children. They're amazing. But there's complex situations and personalities and whatever that come with that shit, And I would say that I would be as supportive as I can be. And I would pray for the strength to be able to do what I can't. You know what I'm saying? And that's the best I can do.
WWJD.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that.
Let's move. So this was a good topic. I got one more topic I want to touch before.
yes, and I've been waiting for this topic, baby.
Oh, you know what it is?
She got her sip of water.
I like that.
Oh, you can. Oh yeah, Kid got the kick
because
yo.
because I was able to moderate. I was able to see. So I thought we was gonna leave with that. I was ready, but I'm ready now. Let's go.
He was ready. All right.
What did he just say? What did he just say?
All right.
But that's the exception. I'm the rule. Everybody I know who's married right now, they're married to broke ass niggas.
All right. Hold on.
So a recent video of mine seems to have upset members of a certain community, and all the backlash just really made me, just really do a deep dive, like do a soul search. And after all that, I still couldn't find a care.
You're going to call us racist? You're going to call us potential Timothy McVeighs? Fuck you. War.
All right, this is the family.
I can't do this.
No, this is the family show.
No. I can't.
Did he just say war?
He did.
Yeah.
He said war.
He did. So let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it. So, Kit, go ahead and start this because I know you itching. You know what I'm saying? Get into it, Kit.
Be ready. Okay. First things first.
This here Juneteenth Eve.
Look, I got, on this Juneteenth Eve, I have to, make sure my natural pop a little harder today. For one, okay, so to kind of backtrack on that and to give some context, she was actually fired from her job because, we don't play. The squad will come through and the company that she worked for actually, canceled her membership for gainful employment. I feel like sometimes we give them the leeway and the rope that they feel like they have to save themselves, even though sometimes they use that same rope to hang themselves from. And clearly, either one or two things are happening. Either she just has a level of protection that job really is, insignificant to her livelihood, or she's around people that, she says it and she's not corrected. And I don't know if it's a bunch of others of mayonnaise that are allowing this particular energy. Sometimes it's us. Now, I will say this one of the mayonnaise community, or the envelopians, as I like to call them. I was at a bar and she was taken aback by how old I was because she thought I was a lot younger. And the first word out of her mouth was, I said, she was like, I'm so sorry. Like and then it went into this whole soliloquy of, I have Black friends and my son is Black, and oh, can I follow you on Facebook? And I really didn't mean it like that. Like, if you knew who I hung with, and I really meant no disrespect, and this, that, and the third. It was one of those things where it was like, okay, like, and that's kind of how when she said it, the way that she said it, it was like second nature. It wasn't even like it was something that she would have thought to like censor herself on. It rolled off her tongue like it was something she says every day. So I'm wondering who's condoning it by not condemning it, and also apparently this is something that goes on in her section where she feels like she could even put it on tape, on wax. She put it out for everybody to see. So clearly it wasn't something that was beside her.
But she doesn't care, and she made that
doubled down.
I think she did it because she's trying to pander to a certain audience. Because I saw that happen last week, and I chose not to interact with it or give it engagement,
right?
Because certain folks like to gain platforms from outrage, and the biggest way for us to win is to ignore that thing. She's trying to gain, conservative backing, and I think that's a way of life for a lot of folks these days, especially in this climate we are in today. But I want to do piggyback off of what you did say, Kit, where some of those folks do feel comfortable saying that word because we don't condemn it when it's in our presence, right? I'll give you an example. We were at a concert for a famous rapper. And, that rapper just got into a beef with another rapper. They not like us. Okay. So in that concert, you had the folks saying the word so freely. And my husband like,
you can say white people on YouTube.
I'm gonna just, I'm gonna keep it pretty. I don't got time for that. They were saying it so freely in these concerts, and they think because they consume the music and they consume the culture, and that even if they're in relation, if it's relations in relation to us, they feel like that is okay to say. And when it's done in my presence, I make it a very clear thing saying, hey, you were wrong for saying that. That's number one. Number two, I don't care about your tears. And I don't care about your relation to folks that look like me. You telling me you have Black friends is not going to make a difference to the fact that you are saying something offensive. And it was offensive because you caught yourself. And you want to say it, and you want to feel like, oh, you want me to say, hey, girl, you can say it because you've been around us. You grew up around us and yada, yada, yada. You think you Tommy Egan from from Power. You know what I'm saying? And even Tommy don't say it. You know what I'm saying? So I need you to understand, and then it's another point I'm gonna hit. I need you to understand that just because you bumping on them, you sleeping with Black men, doesn't make you feel like you can consume and be the culture that you're, let's just say, an audience to. Your lust does not excuse your disrespect.
Their appropriation is real, like for assimilation. And I will say this: you're very right about that. And before I let it go back, I was so taken aback in the moment. It was almost, and I know that we have a tendency to do this, right? It's kind of like the what was it, like what's that movie that just came out? The something of Magical Negroes. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the School of Magical Negroes.
Right.
Yeah.
I almost had that kind of a moment, right? Where instead of that being a really big teaching moment, letting her know that whereas I didn't fly off the handle, somebody else might, do that. And you might want to curb your enthusiasm on how you use that word, even if it was meant as a compliment versus a negative. It went to more of, it's cool. I get it. I understand where you're coming from. And I was so mad at myself later, right? Like I literally told my friend, I was like, I cannot believe I did that. Because my friend, he was like, I'm surprised. Like I really thought, like we both was like, I mean, she was like, I was like, he was like to the point that we all looking like, Lord, he worried I'm about to do me, and she looking like, Lord, please don't do me. And so now I'm in the middle in my head, like, okay, instead of being that girl, right? I'm just gonna, you know what? It's cool, you know, I get it. I understood what you meant. It's not cool that you use the word, but I get where your stance was. And I think that we do that a lot. You feel what I'm saying? Somehow, some way, we try to make them feel better about something so that we seem less offensive or we seem less threatening or something in that way. And when I tell you that tore my nerves up so bad, like the whole, he was so sick of me talking about it. I swear the whole night after, I'm in the car talking about it. We back at the house, I'm talking about it. I'm like, why didn't I was like that? Because she could get her ass whooped talking to somebody else. And she wasn't even being nasty. She was literally giving me a compliment, like almost like if I was to see, like, dang. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, braids. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of that energy. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I felt like in the moment, I tried to like just be that girl and squash it and make it where it wasn't this big deal. But then later on, I was like, you know what? That was a really big moment that I missed out on giving her, and not only giving that to her, but also standing up in a moment where it's like, no, it's not okay. And no matter how we try to pacify it and make it okay, it's still not that. So
I have a question. Wait, before you go, Mingo, I just want to ask her, I want to ask you a question, Kit.
What's up?
You did two things. I feel like as Black women, we do labor and we don't even have to. So two things that you did. You took accountability, or you took on this burden.
That wasn't even mine.
That wasn't even mine. Right. So she kind of put that on you, and it was weighing on you at least like 72 hours. And that's not fair to you. And then you felt like it was a duty of you as a Black woman. You can't even exist and be free and be in these spaces without feeling like you have to educate her. You don't have to feel like you have to educate everybody on everything. And I want to affirm you in that by saying that. Like, don't
I definitely appreciate that, because I definitely
educate folks on what to and what not to say. There's spaces for that, and there's other folks that can do that labor. Our labor is no longer free.
Today's price ain't today's price, okay? And that trust me, that actually taught me a huge, like, I was like, you know what? God forbid it ever happens again, but if it ever does, I'll be prepared for it in a different way, because I won't feel that level of bring it down.
Y'all on here sound like some freedom fighters. Go ahead, Dion. What you was gonna say? I know you got something to say on the topic.
They listen. Kit and Tiara definitely hit the nail on the head with both of their comments. I think it is something that we feel like we need to do when we get in corporate spaces, in social spaces, and sometimes even relationally when we come in contact with, let's say it's a brother who got the white girlfriend, or whatever, and we feel like we have to take on that burden. And no, we don't. And it's okay to be also authentic in our feelings if we feel disturbed, when we feel disrespected, and say, hey, that's not okay, and I don't care what else you got to say about it. You wrong. Next, you know what I'm saying? And move on. Like, everything doesn't need to be a reading rainbow moment. Like, I don't need to teach you nothing. It's 2024. Like, get it together. You know what I'm saying? So y'all both hit some really good points in what you said.
Right. Jess, what's your thoughts on the topic?
I mean, I'm pretty much with Kit and Tiara and Dion with that one. It's a respect thing, and even with on the video, whatever what she said, she doubled down on. So a lot of them know what they're doing, what they're saying, and they mean it.
They say it with their whole chest.
Stand on business.
The way that this woman pulled back from what she said, it was like as soon as it left her mouth, she was like, and because, but again, that comes more from, the social circles that she's in don't correct her, and when she says it, that's how come when she said it with me, it was like, oh shit, she ain't one of my people. You understand what I'm saying? It was one of those kinds of moments. And again, I was more mad at myself because, like you said, it's not my job to like teach and give that level of energy to her, but at the same time, I feel like I let me and other sisters down for not saying, hey, no, I don't care how you felt like I looked in this moment. I don't care that it was said as a compliment, but you're one of the envelopes. You know the rules. Like, I'm not walking around here, just using the C. I don't know if we can say the C word on here. I'm not out here calling you a Ritz, or a saltine, so the same level of respect, family show, man. I got you. So since it's a family show, so since I'm not doing that, and I know it, right? It's not even like it's a word that, unless I'm talking about it in a box, that it even comes to my vocabulary to think of, right? So it's one of those things.
So you don't say that word yourself?
What, crap?
No, the N word, right? So when you talk in your speech,
I was talking about the other words for them.
No, I know what you're saying, but the question would be, right now, I'm just my stance on it. I mean, I agree with what y'all saying. Like, I totally understand as Black people why we feel like that's our word. But I think we need to get that.
Before you go,
Hold on, let me finish my thought.
I know you about to ask that question.
Hold on, let me finish my thought.
Okay,
I'm not gonna ask a question. I'm not asking a question. I'm making a statement.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So when we try to use we gatekeep what we feel like gatekeeping and saying that this belongs to us, right? When it should not even belong to us, right? If we know what our ancestors went through to try to get people to stop using that word, then and then we try to say, oh well, it's not that bad because I'm putting a GGAS at the end, or it's not that bad because you're Black, I'm Black, and we saying it to each other. And then we try to gatekeep what we feel like is cool. And then we try to tell other people, yo, but I could say these things, but you can't. But instead of just saying, like, how about we start working on our vocabulary, right? So this way now other people out there are not feeling like it's okay to use. If I'm going to sit there all day and be like, yo, nigga, my nigga, that's my nigga, that's my nigga.
That's what
I'm rapping it. I'm rapping it in my songs, and I'm marketing the songs to white people, and then I'm telling the white people, don't rap what I'm saying, listen to it, but don't repeat it. That's wild. Like I think as Black people, we are backwards with the way we think, and we are.
With some
I
things,
know that.
Agree with that.
I would have to disagree. I would have to disagree. Us taking that word that was one.
It's not taking power back.
It's taking the power back.
It's not taking power. You sound like a womanist.
The intention behind the word.
No,
the intention behind the word is totally different when I'm using it towards another Black person.
If a man calls you the B word, would you take it more offensive than if Dion called you the B word?
What was the context?
It doesn't matter. If I'm like, yo, all right, bitch, right? Or Dion turns around and says, yeah, bitch, same context, right? We cool. We just have.
But I'm gonna tell you something. It's about intention behind the word, and you using the B word and like, hey, that's my friend.
What was the intention behind her using the word nigga?
Huh?
She said it just like how you would say it to your friend.
Her intention was to harm. Her intention was to draw.
You're missing my point. This
kind
is
of
the problem.
division behind
We
that.
gatekeeping.
Can I ask a question?
Crap. Go ahead, Jess.
Real quick. So, Tiara, if I put a NOOSE, because I don't know if it's allowed or not, around my neck in a chain form and say, listen, I'm taking my power back or whatever, would that be okay?
The girls are doing it. They do it in jury form now.
Yeah, I'm about to say they actually have them out now.
That's
Like,
literally a thing.
They have,
And
so you don't have a problem with that?
I don't have a problem with it because I view those who have been oppressed as taking those things that once oppressed us and taking their power. We can't get our power back in other ways. So symbolism in ways through words is us taking some type of power back because we clearly have been oppressed in some way.
There's no power in the word. It's a derogatory word.
It's not a derogatory word
yes,
when
it
you
is.
amongst each other and when there's intention behind
literally,
it.
Literally, the literal meaning of it is an ignorant person. It's a derogatory word.
Here's the thing, this is one of those times where conflation is happening, right? Like we're conflating one thing to make it mean something else. Like so, Mingo, GMT, you're absolutely right, right? It is a derogatory word as far as the general definition as it stands, but what Tiara is saying, so I kind of agree with both of you because what Tiara is saying is more that when we took the word back, we turned it from something derogatory and made it a term of endearment. You know what I'm saying? Now, keep in mind, the word is like a noun. It's a person, place, a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, it could be that nigga across the street I don't fuck with, or that nigga is my dude right here. I rock with him. It's just, it is a context thing. You know what I'm saying? So, and I will say that, I feel both ways. I feel both things they can exist and be true at the same time, right? It can absolutely be a derogatory word that we actually took and turned into a term of endearment. Now, whether one is right or wrong, that's to be, discussed in the middle. But both things can exist and be true at the same time. And I can understand both sides. I will say that, kind of like what Tiara was saying, when we took the word, we made it a term of endearment, but that's just Black people in general, right? Like we'll take the worst of the worst and we'll turn it into something like, case in point, and I hope I don't offend any of my, pork eaters on our panel or place, but we don't have to eat chitlins no more. And somehow buckets of them flood the grocery stores every year. And people will clean these little shit pockets and put hot sauce on them and eat them with greens and rice sometimes. And sometimes
so Italians, they eat tripe and we eat.
But here's the thing: we can get the pork chop now. There's a whole rump roast that we can put in the oven, and we can have like the actual good parts of the pig. And somehow we still take the derogatory slops that they gave us, and we still turn them into a delicatessen marvel every year for the holidays. So I get it. Should we still be eating the shit pockets? Absolutely not. Don't eat it. But for those who have still and do, they turn these little shit pockets into little, ribbons of treasure that people love every holiday. But so, I mean, it's just, like you said, GMT, we definitely need to work on our own conversation pieces and how we engage and talk to each other. I do think that a lot of the times we do take things from a negative space and turn it into a positive for us. And then we don't want them, like you say, we gatekeep. We don't want them to have that because in reality, they take everything. You know what I'm saying? We can't have nothing. Like that's like the one saying that we always say, we can't have nothing.
I don't want nigga.
Well, I mean, not even just that. I'm just talking about in general. Even when I used to work in corporate, right? Like a Black woman has colorful hair. Somehow she's hood, she's ghetto. Why would she come to work like this? A white girl come in with some blue streaks, so like some blue and green. Oh, that is so pretty. It looks so nice. Never as she's hood, she's got tattoos, as she works on a boulevard, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like everything has a way of being acceptable on one side or the other. I'm just saying that once we really start having those conversations with ourselves saying, okay, so is the word nigga ever gonna go away, right? If it's not, how do we start, thinking of other conversation? I mean, words get made up every day. We ain't found another word to substitute for nigga. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like,
look, I look at it like this. Do I want my 6-year-old calling me a nigga because it's a term of endearment? How we choose to take it? No. Absolutely. So why would I be okay? Why would I be okay with it just being used by every and anybody? Right? So if I don't want a white man calling me it or a white woman, then I shouldn't use it. My kids shouldn't use it. You know what I'm saying? My nieces and nephews shouldn't use it. But go ahead, Dion. You was about to say something.
There was a show, old show, called All in the Family.
Yes.
Had this interesting Anglo-Saxon man, lower middle class man with his family, and his name was Archie Bunker.
Archie.
And he came across another man by the name of George Jefferson, who was played by the illustrious Sherman Hemsley, R.I.P. And there was an episode where he was just so flabbergasted that this black man had a business on the other side of town because he was moving on up to the east side. And he couldn't understand, and he wanted to call him the N-word. And Sherman Hemsley, in his eloquent comedic stylings, he said, say it. Go ahead. Say it. And he said, well, you know. And he says the word on ABC at the time. And he turns, he said, and calls him a what? A honky. So, with that being said, I hope we can close this up. But to say that he was like, if you gonna call me this, I'ma call you that. So if you don't want me to call you this, don't call me that. And that's just really what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't here with it, don't call me that. And I understand we will have our views on it. It is a word that we have taken and we made it a colloquialism in our community. It's been a staple. And then they use the word as well in a way of, let's bring it back down to what we meant it to be. But no, you don't want me to call you a honky. Don't call me the N-word.
The thing is that, yo, you could cut a white person up and say all of that stuff and they don't get offended. It's not like how a white man is not going to get offended if you call him a honky today. The likelihood is he probably won't get offended if you call him a cracker either. Right? That's just how it is. Like,
so you're saying the word that we have for them is not as hurtful.
They don't take it. They don't take it like that because
they weren't the one that's suppressed. And that's one thing you have to understand. When you haven't been a part of the class that has been oppressed, anything that the oppressed says to the oppressor is not going to hit, because systematically you're always going to have the one up.
But there's a bunch of words. There's a bunch of words for Asian people. There's a bunch of words for Spanish people. There's a bunch of words for Italian people. So there's words that are going to cut to the white meat show for other groups of people.
I didn't even realize. Okay, so my New Yorkers, I feel like y'all will understand this when I say this. I never knew that chinky eyes was a negative term. Did y'all?
It is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I knew that.
I didn't know that until, because when I was growing up,
nobody talking about their eyes.
No,
we thought it was a cute picture. We thought it was a cute picture.
They used to think it was a cute picture. Like, oh, you talking about Tiff? Like, oh, you talking about Tiff with the chinky eyes? Oh, you talking about this one with the chinky eyes? Like, that was actually like not a negative. It was actually like, if your eyes was like slanted, like that was like a
even slanted is offensive.
Yeah, Asians take it as a racial slur.
It's definitely offensive. Like if you talk about slanted eyes, it's definitely offensive.
But I guess my other thing is like how, like, I feel like intention behind words make a difference, and that's the human experience, right? We know what they mean when they're saying that. I think it's because it's more historical backing. It's more of like, you're using that because you want to either try to relate or you're trying to hurt. And I really want Black people to go back to gatekeeping. We need to gatekeep things.
No,
we need to gatekeep. We need to gatekeep things. If that's one thing that is a part of our history, that's something that we have taken. I know some people don't agree with it.
That's not a part of our history. But you still
need to gatekeep it. It's time for us to stop being so inclusive and start to gatekeep. If you
How long we
gatekeep
put each
me,
other?
you won't
How
have
long we
this
put each
issue.
other in shackles since that's part of our history? With that, we should not just say things are part of our history, so we should hold on to it. Some things you gotta let go. And if
It's
you
a
look
part
at
of
it
us
as
now. Like it is.
no,
what
it's
it
not.
is.
It's a part of who wants it to be a part of them. It's not a part of me. I don't agree with that. You agree with it. So maybe how you might conduct things around your people, fine. I don't agree with it though. So my son is not saying it. I'm not in the household. Yo, what's up, wife? Yo, that's crazy, my nigga. I don't do that. I don't have my sons call. My oldest son ain't sitting here. Yo, dad, what up, nigga? He not dapping me up. I'll punch him in his face if he said that. I'll go to jail. Yes. Don't call me that.
Oh, you don't
Because
punch him. We
I
don't
will.
do. We
I
don't
will.
do
I
that.
will say
I'm
this
talking
though.
about beating my kids. But hold on one second.
No, your kid is
Hold on.
grown. You cannot do that. That is assault. He's an adult. You cannot do
One
that.
second.
The opinions
One
and
second, kid.
comments on grown men talking are duly. You got to put the disclaimer out there.
Beat your kids. So listen.
Not when they grown
but
adults. You can't do that. You go to jail.
listen, that's straight fighting. So, here's what I'm saying, right? You gotta, if you're not okay with it being said across the board from whoever says it to you, then okay, that's how you live your life. But should we say that's what Black people in general should do? A lot of Black people are not okay with that. So no, we shouldn't gatekeep it because we shouldn't be saying it. And then now I can understand you being mad if another race of person says it, because I don't say it. I won't even call my brother that. You know what I'm saying? So why am I going to accept that? Just like you would want me to, some man just came to you and call you the B word, you would want me to protect you because it's wrong, right? But you can let your friend call it to you. No, then gatekeep that too. Let some other do. Black people just gatekeep whatever they want to. No, we're not gonna just walk around. I'm not gonna just say gatekeep that word. It is not a good word. It is not a word that we should look at as, oh, we hold it now because we've been oppressed and the white man. What?
I'll tell you like this. When I was in middle school, like going middle school, going to high school, I was in from like 8th grade all the way until I graduated, I was in an international studies program. So we were very eclectic, right? And then during that time, it was like a lot of like racial tensions. I can't remember what was going on. I think it might have been around the O.J. Simpson time. So you had a lot of like, racial tensions and things like that. And I absolutely went to a PWI for all of it. And so I remember like the people in my program, like the way that and it's kind of crazy to think about now as an adult, right? But the way that we found to kind of like break through like the racial tensions is like we would call the white people, like the white kids, niggas, and they would call us crackers. So it'd be like, oh, what's up, my nigga? They'd be like, oh, cracker, what it do, boo? Like, but again, it was one of those things where it was like in our program, but it wasn't like this, we're walking around calling everybody that. It was just our way of like saying, like, we see you, we understand, like, it's nothing, and we get it. But when you think about it as an adult, it's kind of like, oh, wow, we really was walking around school calling each other's crackers and niggas and shit. And we were, in our program was, again, like, they were the niggas, we were the crackers. And it was one of those things where it was like, I see you, not on some like we're being negative and extra, so
I feel like that fits my argument of intention.
Why are we mad at the old lady again? I'm
basically why not that's and I get what he's saying, because what he's saying is from what you
why
said.
Are we mad at
the lady, basically the lady in the video, but he's basically saying it in a way of people say old lady or whatever, how dudes talk, but he got a point, because if you're in school using, oh, what's up, my nigga, and he's like, you're like, what's up, cracker, and then y'all are throwing it back and forth, and it's not saying y'all were kids, so y'all understand y'all were just doing it for play, right? Y'all were doing it for play, but you got to understand when for play, as it gets older now and the mind starts to develop, they might feel like that's okay. So if I use that word nigga because y'all called it to me in middle school and blah, 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 and I hear from some people it's wrong, but then some people in my group are like, And some black people in my group are like, dude, it's okay. You can say that word. I ain't mad at you. Because believe it or not, that happens a lot, right? There's white people that try to identify, yes, but even the ones that like black men, right? White men that try to identify with more of the black race, right?
They talk about Malibu Most Wanted men, you know.
Huh?
What my snack's address?
Malibu Most Wanted.
Yeah, those type of dudes, right? The white men that try to identify with our culture, right? So then they'll end up being the ones to use that word, and this circle of black men will be like, yo, this nigga crazy. All right. Maybe I don't know anything about that prissy white girl. I have no idea where she came from, her background or whatever. Maybe that's her circle. And maybe she thought it was fine.
No, she's a conservative dater.
Yeah, probably.
Her intention behind that was to draw some kind of attention in negative way. Like I'm big on attention. Like I'm so big on attention. I'm like, you know the intention behind that word. Just like I'm gonna be honest, Kit, your story about the white woman in the bar who said it. She thought she was saying in a relation, but I still feel like her intention behind the word was just the same as the girl in the video, because then you started to explain your relation to black folk as if you, Kit, should be like, oh yeah, let me no. I think it's all about intention. Like
I gotta read this comment. I gotta read this comment.
Willie, you gotta go do something. What is wrong with your comments?
He said that white woman has no black friends or people around her. He says she's cooking in the video and not one seasoning used. Yo.
I'm so, you know what? I want to say I'm sorry for letting people follow me here, but you just love them, so it don't even matter. Like,
blockchain is my guy. Listen, this was a good show. This was
good stuff.
Show. I know y'all got stuff to do in the morning. Y'all gotta all go to work, and I gotta be
black and my excellence tomorrow. What do you mean? I have to make sure my brown is brown and
gotta keep your brown in.
You know,
them edible brownies cooking.
Look,
we gotta make sure
at the pool.
You should be having like a whole Juneteenth edible incredible sale. I'm trying to understand where.
I mean, I might be. I mean, tomorrow around 10 a.m. slides out and tells you to, grab a drink and some cookies and some old shit. You just never know. But I'm gonna probably be getting baked by the poolside, so I'm gonna be baked and baked. I'm working on my blackery, because I'm working on my Lupita Nyong'o, as I like to say. I'm trying to be purple. Like I want to be blue black by the end of the summer. So
it's gonna be a good one. Hold on 1 second, hon. All I'm gonna ask everyone to do is be safe, right? Because anytime that us black folks have a holiday, because we like to gatekeep stuff, Tiara. So we gonna gatekeep the crime that's in our community for some strange reason. So all I can ask for y'all is to put the guns down, enjoy yourselves, understand and learn some history, and learn where you came from, and be safe. Talk to the young men. Tell them engage with each other in the proper way. Tell them to deal with their anger in the proper way. Older men, coach somebody. I ain't saying go out there and be a stepdaddy. I'm saying go out there and coach somebody. Pick a young man and coach him. So, with that being said, enjoy and be safe. This was a good show. Stay in the back room for a second, y'all. Stay in the back room. Don't hang up. And we are out.
Willie B.
Okay, it's not
stay with me? Is there something I can do to show my love for you? Call